Traders, we are on day 11 of the CPro Small Account Challenge. Haven't blown up yet. Although I will say a couple nights ago, I had a nightmare. And have you guys ever had dreams that just feel so real? Well, I thought I had blown up the account. I woke up and said, Kevin, you idiot. Why did you do that? I had a very vivid dream that I was in a low float pump and dump chat room and the guru said, oh, this ticker, 500,000 in the float, no news. Great opportunity here. Day traders. Let's all jump into it. And of course, he or she is getting in with 20,000 shares, scalping for 5 cents to make $1,000. And me, on the other hand, I go in with like 1,000 shares, get into it. As the guru says, oh, got my 5 cents getting out. And the thing dumps a point. I blow up the entire account. Now, thankfully, I pinch myself, and that's not reality. Been very disciplined with this account so far, trading an edge, and so far, so good. This is all mindset though. We all have a very steep uphill mountain to climb and we need to not have downhill habits. Have I identified my downhill habit? Yes, on the account. I'm digging myself too deep into the hole on some of these losers, so I'm going to start capping them a lot sooner. Now, one thing that's been helpful in mitigating that is I'm working 2 or 3 positions now, like we did on Friday. And the ones that are not working, we're capping those quick. And the ones that are working, we are working those positions to our benefit. And one thing additionally I've also identified is your physical trading is actually largely determined by your emotional and mental conditions. If you feel defeated, you are going to be defeated in the market. All of these things work in harmony. Your mental state, your emotional, and your spiritual state. I can preach here all I want. Is it going to reflect on my P&L? That's what we're going to find out. And by being so vulnerable, guys, hit the like and subscribe button because I am you in this journey. I'm attempting to trade this edge, very disciplined and diligent and persistent and doing everything I can to grow this account. Are there going to be losers? Yes, there are. Inevitably, it's going to happen. So we got to mitigate that. We got to make them small, let our winners run for us. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to put the strategy I'm trading in the description below so you guys can review it if you want to continue following this journey. Traders, just a few minutes till the market opens on up. Let's see what's going to happen. 10 minutes till the market opens on up. The game plan, I have 4 tickers down here in my watch list. Airy, I'm looking for a short on this hangover against $7 resistance. Previous high on Friday, $6.94. The red line is marked price line for natural resistance overhead in the $7 area. Next on the watch list, CIFR. This one, nice little climb on Friday. Looking for it to profit take and fade. We do have daily chart resistance up in the $6 area. Nice ceiling here. I'm looking to serve as resistance. We're going to try to time our entries a little better today because Friday was off and that certainly affected the day. AUR. This one, nice climb on Friday. Looking for a very similar thing here. $7 resistance, a ceiling here, similar to CIFR. And then ACHC. This one's more oversold, so I'm not as excited about it. It had a nice climb on Friday. It is a hangover, but remember, we need variables to line up to make this hand even better. Daily chart, not making the hand better. We do have resistance at 45.50, but then a gap to fill after that in the 50s. So the stock is already somewhat oversold. We have seen many green days back to back to back. Could we see the red day today? Well, we'll see if these stocks pop up towards resistance for an entry. My concern is they flush right out the gates. You guys know this is my concern with trading a small account because I'm trading with principal, really, not profits at the moment. And so I'm getting in with single entries, multiple exits. I prefer stabbing at some of these with half of a position size at the bell. That way, if they do flush, we're in the profit and they pop up towards resistance, we can get a little bigger position on it. But we're going to be very rigid with the rules, flexible with the profit expectations. Right now with the account, since we're sitting right at over $1,000, I don't really want to allow these to go red very long. I mean, just up to resistance, really. This is why I like this edge, because we're getting into our entry right at risk with a good amount of reward. We want to let the green trades work for us, not the red ones. And that's been a bad habit of mine. The downhill habit that I have is trying to fight some of these losers and capping the winners. It makes no sense. I understand it's an emotional flaw that I have as far as trading goes. So a few minutes till the market opens on up. Let's time these entries well and see if we can hit quota on the day. Market is now open. CIFR. See if we can get a short. 566. Placed an order out. 100 shares. AUR already pulling back in quite a bit as well. Today I got filled. Okay. Filled 100 shares. 566. Got a little pop on it. Okay, good. That's what's good about having some limit orders sitting out there then, I reckon. That was extremely fast dump. Glad to be a part of it. We're going to take half off. I'm going to turn my attention to AUR, see if we can get a position there. We'll do 100 shares at 680 AUR. Filled AUR 680. Now we're green. I don't want to give a lot of that back, so the yesterday's high, like 690, is going to be the risk on AUR. CIFR coming all the way back up. My average is 566. All the way back up to 566. Let's look at AUR. AUR coming up towards the highs yesterday, 690. That is going to be my stop. All right, we're getting out. We could re-hit it again up towards 7 if it's going to head that way. Now CIFR, we're just working half a position. Probably should have taken all of it down there in the 550s. We have a 566 average there. Let's look at some of the other plays we were going to potentially hit this morning. Airy, that's one we were going to hit against 7. That one's flushing. Of course, we missed that one. Still like AUR, CIFR as well. AUR, I'm going to stab at again, 687. CIFR, we still have 50 shares here. We could add into it. AUR just didn't get a fill. Airy, I don't mind this short against the open, but we need a little bit more of a pop on it. Man, that would have been beautiful against 7. And that's the one we missed. Let's take a stab at Airy, selling short. Do 675. See if we can get filled on that. We want this one to hit and keep fading. We missed the entry towards 7, unfortunately, so it feels a little chasey. AUR, 10 cents off of my order that I had. Wonderful. Just cancel that order. CIFR, I want to add a position here. Filled 567. Adding 100 shares to this position. I don't want it to go green on the day, which is 574 is the open. Yeah, here it is. It sold off at the open of the day. We were a part of this and took half off, then stopped out the rest. Now I'm adding back into it with the risk of the 575, which is the open of the day. I really don't want it to completely turn around and go green on the day after that huge flush. Missed the flush on Airy, but trying to get a part of this. Yeah, Airy we got filled on. Average price 675. We'll review this in a little bit. I'm only going to give it a few cents. Really, when they flush like this out of the gates, I'm looking for a pop for an entry because I don't want to chase it selling off. All right, CIFR is coming up to its open price. Airy, remember 675 entry, looking to fade this. Want it to stay under VWAP heavy. Good pullback on CIFR. Yeah, CIFR gave a nice pullback and then just a huge green candlestick again. Don't want that past the open, but here she goes. Extremely irritated by it. It was working perfect, and the climb all the way back up to open. Come on. Sometimes things can be irrational more than they can be solvent. I think we got a nice pattern developing on Airy that we can work if CIFR doesn't want to work with us. $6 really good resistance here. Man, I did not think it was going to stair step up like that. Airy popping back up to my average. Looks like I'm going to be getting stopped out of both of these guys. All right, getting all out of CIFR and then Airy. Probably going to be getting out of this one. Oh, AUR wants to fade now. Here's the pattern AUR. CIFR, if we get closer to 6, we can consider it. I'm looking for the bear flag on Airy. It looks really good on that. 100 shares on Airy. We'll keep it tight because we do have the bear flag. All right, Airy's continuing higher too, has gotten through the VWAP, so this is likely about to be a stop out as well. All right, getting out. Covered there. Not great on the day. Let's do a little review real quick. CIFR, we were in it at the start of the day. Nice flush. Took half the position off. Obviously, should have taken all of it, apparently. Didn't get the fade like we were expecting. AUR dropped at the start of the day. Red to green move. Has $7 resistance. Has been fading since. That one would be lovely to be a part of. Airy, dump out of the gates. CIFR, dump out of the gates. So all three of these had profit taking out of the gates. And that's what we expect, but they're not getting a continual fade outside of AUR. Tried to give these room to work. We are nearly setting that Q just on CIFR's dump. Oh, traders, this is going to make me emotional. AUR still dumping off of the descending triangle. Beautiful descending triangle on AUR. Really should have seen that, but was a little focused on my losing trades. Again, that's what I'm trying to preach against this morning. Try to get out of those early. CIFR, I took half off, thought we were going to work it. Ended up fighting it. And then Airy ended up just kind of scratching on that one. And AUR is the one that kind of has been working out and formed a nice pattern for us that we could have got involved with. Sometimes you just pick the off ones on the day. I'm probably going to try a stab at Airy again. Do I think this one's going to break into that $7 resistance area? Not really. I mean, we're coming up towards it. If this thing wants to keep climbing up towards 7, see if we can get Airy. Order filled. Got it at 683. Now, clearly, we don't want this to reclaim the 690s. We want all these longs that were in it start of the day to start breaking even on their trade, unwinding for this to fade just like AUR has been. $7 is major resistance here. AUR making me very sad because we could have trailed this and that would be looking absolutely beautiful. But rather, we're getting smoked today. I'm telling you guys, this is very abnormal for these tickers. They flushed at the start, which we expected. We took advantage of that. And now I'm kind of digging myself in a hole because this is doing something abnormal and I'm allowing the abnormality to affect me rather than just accept that maybe today's not the day. CIFR cracking into the 560s now. Okay. AUR 650s. Traders, emotions are pretty heightened right now. This could have easily been a green day. I'm gonna have to shut it down soon because this is getting under my skin a little bit. Remember that whole positivity thing I said I was gonna work on? Like, seriously, what the hell is this? You go from $7 resistance down to 660 and climb all the way back up to the high of the day. AUR is gonna haunt me all day. This is exactly what I want to be a part of today. Airy hit 7 resistance, pulled back, looked great, and now she's just, I mean, now you guys are seeing all the variables. I mean, most of the time they do sell off fade. And then sometimes you get this. And then sometimes you don't get involved with the right ones. Sometimes they crack under a trend line and then they just pop right back up above it. I really felt great about today. I thought it was going to be an easy green day after that initial trade. I was like, okay, we're going to get the sell off and fade on these. And now look what it's turned into. But my problem is I'm still here, trying to fight this stuff. So, you know what we're doing? It appears as though it clearly wants it. Let's set an OCO order. 665 on the profit side, 694 on the stop. And there's the orders. So we have the stop, we have our entry price. That's 1 risk to 2 reward. So it's good. And most of the time these do provide just that. Sometimes we get the AURs and we're involved in all those and it's just green across green across green. Sometimes we get some fighters. Sometimes we get those I want to reclaim, and then they might turn into fighters, or we get stopped out, or we have a day 2 leg on up. Key is to minimize the L's and maximize the profits. I tried to do that by scaling out of that one this morning. If it had been AUR, we'd be sitting pretty nice right now. I'll say this. Some days feel very, easy to make money. You're just in the rhythm. They're working out. You're trailing, those are working out. And then the days where it does happen, like today, where you're fighting more, rather than push on the gas, on the accelerator, maybe the market speed limit is 35 miles per hour, we don't necessarily want to go 70 miles per hour. And that's what I naturally want to do because I want to be green. I want to make back the money I've lost naturally. But rather than push the gas, we should probably push the brakes, which is what I should do. It's about to take me out, and order filled. $49 L on the day. Last couple days we've made about 100, so giving half of that back, still sitting there now right under the $1,000. What this ticker did, this pattern here is going to irritate me all day. Of course, we got to stop out of it because the market can be irrational longer than we can be solvent. But that's why I'm trying to work multiples of these, because the ones that don't work, I need to get rid of quick, and the ones that do, like AUR, they're going to be the money makers. I mean, what the hell is this? We'll get it back tomorrow. I'm confident in the approach. When everything's working against you, what do? I mean, we took little baby profits, half off, and then everything else from there was red. So what are you supposed to do? I mean, everything's working against you. The patterns, they worked out pretty well. We saw profit taking at the start of the day. All of them except AUR reclaimed. That is just how it goes in the trading world. Cannot let the market irritate me. The market's always right. The only thing we can control is our reaction to the market. For now, I feel like I'd be over trading and gambling if I were to stab at it anymore. So I'm going to end right there on that L. We'll take it, wrap it up. We'll make some mental notes, and we'll prepare for battle for tomorrow. Thank you, traders, for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.